Hello everyone, my name is SpyPenguin3TX and welcome to my very first YouTube video. So, I am in the process of building this massive city, and it's supposed to be abandoned. I'll do a video on it later. But here, as you can see, we have this cute little workshop here, and I'll get to the stuff beside it to find the door. Where did I put here it is. In here we have a problem. You see, I have this enchantment room, and obviously this place is for building tools, workshops, enchantments, smithing tables. But the thing is, if we're going to have a city that has the capability of making enchantments, we need a way for them to get paper in order to get books. And you'll see how they get cows later, but anyway. So over here I have built a paper mill, which is supposed to be, the city's supposed to be very technological advanced. So here, I'll show you how the system works. So, in order to keep the farm going at night, I have farm lights, which light up here. Yes, I know my redstone's a little messy, but it works. And we have this automatic farm, which has this little minecart. I know there's more efficient ways to harvest this stuff, but I thought the minecart was cool, so I did that. We have this chest. It is absolutely full of sugarcane, and we have a dropper here, which obviously feeds the pipe and feeds these hoppers, which feeds the crafter, turning everything into paper and heading into the storage system. Now, an important mechanism here is the clock, which this clock is set to a very specific time because this crafter is actually capable of making more paper faster than the hoppers can load it, which is fine for a couple of minutes, but if you want to make a ton of paper and have all these full, this crafter needs to run a little bit slower than the hoppers, so the clock is specifically slowed down. But that also creates another problem where we have this dropper being able to be filled up faster than the crafter also makes paper faster than the dropper can spit it out. Therefore, we need this chest here to act as a bit of a buffer. But obviously, this could be made a whole lot faster if I just wanted to do a sugar farm or a sugar mill, whatever you want to call this. And you could obviously speed this clock up a lot or do one of those automatic redstone torch clickers. But anyway, I'm actually curious to see just how much paper when all these hoppers are loaded, and they're all loaded right now, just how much paper it can make when this is all loaded fully to the brim. So I'm going to turn this system on. So first we start the clock, and then we start the paper crafter, and you should see it start making paper. Just like so. And now it's going to start feeding the storage system. And later, as a second experiment, I want to see if this fully loaded chest will actually fill all these hoppers up. So, well, we might be here for a while. So after about an hour, it finished making all the paper. But it took a lot longer for it to fill up the storage system over here, so I sped up the clock a little bit after the crafter was empty. Anyway, I'm quite impressed with these results because it actually almost filled up 2 entire large chests, which is pretty impressive, although there's no single person in survival that could need this much paper in a week. Like, it would take years for you to burn through this much paper unless you had like this business on a server making enchantment books or something. Anyway, the sugarcane farm is pretty slow. I did some AFK testing and it produces about half a stack per hour, rough calculation. And there's a lot of improvements I could make to this system. But for now, I want to see if this fully loaded chest and all these hoppers here are enough to fill up all those hoppers right there, or if it'll overflow. So, we're going to find out. and do a lot of waiting again. Well, after a very long time, the system has filled up every single hopper with sugarcane. And the chest, hold on a second, let me get into this position. The chest still has a little bit of sugarcane left in here. Now, of course, that's the chest and these hoppers up here combined with the hopper minecart. And I did artificially fill this. I didn't like wait here eternity for this very slow farm to work, but interestingly enough, we had a bit left over. So it does overflow with time. So off the bat, I think there's a few improvements I could make here. So I think if the storage and if the droppers had a separate clock, one that could run a lot faster than the than the crafter here, I think the system would be a lot more efficient moving items. But I'm going to keep this the way it is right now because it does its function, which is basically just to impress people when they come into the city and be a working redstone mechanism. However, if you actually were to build something like this, I would recommend you get a much bigger farm because this thing works very slowly. As mentioned before, it produces about half a stack per hour of sugarcane. So you can either get a much bigger farm, much longer, or, I don't know, loop it around or something. Or you could get an automatic bone meal farm and then just use bone meal if you have Bedrock Edition. I don't think bone meal works on Java for sugarcane. But yeah, that's the whole system. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. And until next time, always remember that Jesus loves you. Bye.